can make this. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sister Pam Beal, and Esther Gallardi and Danielle Gauthier are with me here today to share with you an exciting mission experience they've had. Esther is a junior at UW-Madison studying to become an elementary teacher. She helped to lead this service trip that we're going to hear about in just a minute. Danielle is a sophomore at UW-Madison and majoring in biology for pre-med to become a doctor. Now, both as Esther and Danielle were part of a service trip to St. Peter Indian Mission Catholic School in Babeshell, Arizona, where my religious community, the Franciscan Sisters of Christian Charity, have an elementary and now recently opened high school with their first freshman class this year. So I'm going to be asking Esther and Danielle some questions about that mission trip and to find out exactly what they were doing. And I hope that you will enjoy just listening to their responses to this exciting experience. So Esther, let's start with you. Before we get into the details of your mission trip, can you just tell me how you found out about St. Peter Mission in Babeshell, Arizona, and why you decided to organize a mission trip there?
Sure. So I knew about this service trip because my older brother Joseph went on it about probably 6 years ago, because St. Paul's had it as a mission trip. And when he went on it, he came home from Christmas break and he would talk about it and go on and on about how amazing it was. And so we went back to visit on spring break and we got to meet the sisters and the place. I was just all for it. I was like, I want to do a mission trip here. This would be awesome. So when I got to St. Paul's in college, I signed up for it. And it got canceled due to COVID, which was really sad. So this year, I asked our service intern, Riley Smith, if we could bring it back. And she was like, yeah, do you want to lead it? And so I was like, yeah, full send, as long as we can go on it.
Okay, so St. Paul's is the Newman Center at UW?
Yes, St. Paul's is for students.
Okay, and so are they the ones that sponsored the trip then?
Yep, they organize it all, and then the students just sign up and
and go. Okay. Danielle, what made you decide you wanted to be part of that mission trip?
So there were many mission trips hosted by St. Paul's, but I felt especially drawn to the Arizona trip because it was at a school. So I've always loved kids, and I actually am going to school for pre-med, as you mentioned, to hopefully become a pediatric doctor. I really wanted to have the opportunity to make a positive impact on these kids by helping out in any way that I could. I was also just excited to know the kids and spend some time with them.
Oh, how great. Yes, and I'm sure you did just that. So Esther, what was the goal as you prepared that mission trip? What was the goal of that trip and what was your hope for all the college students that would be part of that project?
Yeah, I guess my personal goal was just to be helpful to the teachers and students and to bond with the children, because as an education major, you really learn their developmental processes and how important those connections are. But I think for the overall group, I was really just hoping everyone else would have as positive as an experience as I had when I just visited there, and that they would. It's always working with children is so special because they're just amazing and you can make really personal bonds. So I was just hoping everyone on the group would be able to have that experience.
And do you feel that that was accomplished as you
think,
reflect on that
yeah,
and evaluate that mission experience?
absolutely. Everyone just dove into wherever they were put. And I was just, yeah, they were all so happy. It was great.
So tell us, how many were there actually on that mission trip?
Yeah, so there were 25 of us, which is the biggest St. Paul's service trip has ever had. It's usually around 15 people. So 25, there was 19 women and 6 men.
Wow,
So,
amazing. So Danielle, as you experienced that trip, did it help you at all to look at our Native American culture differently? Did it change an attitude you had or a thought you had, or maybe just taught you something you never knew about that culture?
Yeah, definitely. Every morning and afternoon, the students and they'd gather in the chapel for prayer and songs. And I really admired how they sang patriotic songs and Christmas carols in both English and in their native tongue. So I really feel that encouraged the students to be proud of their native heritage, faith, and their country. I loved experiencing the Native American culture, and I think it's amazing how St. Peter's is intentional about incorporating this culture into the students' lives at school.
Was there anything that surprised you that, sometimes we have stereotypes of Native Americans or any other culture, and then you get to meet those people and all of a sudden you say, that's just so not true. Anything
Right,
that,
yeah. I just thought overall, all the families and everyone I talked to
yeah.
were very welcoming and they were so grateful for all the help we were giving them. And they were open to telling me about their native culture, but also still being respectful of the American culture and really taking that as their own. I thought that was just a great way that they incorporated both and very proud of who they were as not only a person, but as a community and a church community.
Okay, thank you. Esther, what about you? Any special memories or stories that touched your heart? Something you'll always remember? Something that, again, maybe an attitude or a thought that changed because of that experience?
Yeah, absolutely. There were just so many special moments, especially with everyone on the trip, just bringing back their stories for me to hear. But me personally, I was placed in the fourth grade classroom, and when we first went in there, all the students were very like shy and wouldn't talk to us, which was like fine. We were just offering any help when we could. And then on the last day we were there, there was two girls that opened up to me. I just sat at their lunch table and they started going on. They were like the quietest ones in the classroom, and they were just going on and on. I was like, this is great. Like, I've only been with you 2 days and you already like want to get to know me more and like are telling me about yourself. So I just thought it was so special to have them feel comfortable sharing their lives with me.
Is great. That is great. This year, my community of Franciscan Sisters of Christian Charity decided to do a monthly Zoom with people we feel are building Christ Church today. And so we asked you to be part of this because we feel that through that mission trip, you are doing exactly that to build Christ Church today. So Danielle, can you give us maybe some specifics of how you think that really happened on this trip?
Yeah, for sure. So as I mentioned, I met generations of families that either work or go to school at St. Peter's, which showed me the lasting impact a church community can have on others to influence the families to continue to be involved at the school and church. Now, although St. Peter's is small, I believe that building Christ Church is less about size and more about growing deep relationships with others and more importantly with God. Through these relationships, I feel we can strengthen church communities to build Christ Church with the acts of service that Esther and I completed. I want to carry this idea with me back home and focus on being intentional with serving others to deepen my connection with God, which helps build Christ Church today.
Yeah, I think what you said about relationships is so important. Isn't that what it's all
Mhm.
about? Just building relationships, and then through that you actually do build the church. So yeah, that's so powerful. And you sounds like that the 25 of you did exactly that. Um, so Esther, you were one of the leaders of the mission trip. How would you say that your experience helped you to build Christ Church today?
Yeah, this mission trip was definitely a new experience for me. I've never really led anything before, so it was helped me be like flexible in college situations. But I just thought it was unique because I was kind of like delegating where everyone went and just getting to hear back about the like human connections people were making and about how like that impacted their days. And it was just really cool to see how everyone kind of fit in there and was really just bringing Christ to the children and then helping out with the sisters. It was wonderful to experience.
Yeah. And had any of them ever been to Wisconsin? Did they know where you were from?
Not that I know of. A couple of them were asking about snow. That's what I remember.
Okay,
They
yeah.
were asking if we had snow, but yeah, I don't know any that said they were from Wisconsin. So
Yeah. So you brought your own culture actually
yeah, I
to
guess.
them as well. So, Danielle, are there any life lessons that no, you say you learned when you were at St. Peter's that maybe you'd like to share with us today?
Yeah, definitely. During my time at St. Peter's, I saw how the sisters and staff showed up every day and,
Mhm.
gave their best to the students. And it made me realize the importance of loving and serving the people around me. I think it serves as a general example of how we should all practice this kind of compassion so that we can care for others more. The sisters and staff at St. Peter's built a community with love, care, and support. And seeing that motivates me to prioritize kindness, empathy, and service towards others. And just on top of that, it was great to hear all of the sisters' stories and just the building of this school and this great community. So it was a great time.
Little by little. I mean, it sounds so easy, doesn't it? Caring, you use those words, caring and kindness and compassion. You know, it doesn't seem hard to do. It's just being able to just actually do that, taking the time to do that. So thank you.
Mhm.
Those are great lessons. And Esther, would you give any advice for young people who may be looking to do a mission trip as a way of being of service and learning about other cultures as well?
Yes, and I don't want to use a cliche, but I'm totally going to, is just do it. Just sign up,
That's good.
especially if you're in your college and they have the opportunity and you're nervous, you don't know if it'll be great. I say do it. Every mission trip I've been on has been a life-changing experience. It's been so worth it. And it's just how you make those relationships and human connections. You don't experience that anywhere else than on a service trip. So just sign up, be brave.
That's great. Danielle, any last words from you for us as well? Any thoughts that, you know, you will always come back to?
Yeah, bouncing off what Esther said, I say
Okay.
take that opportunity and go on that mission trip. I know I was a little hesitant at first because I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't really know anyone else going on this mission trip, but I ended up getting so many new friends. You know, I have 25 new like
Oh,
friends that I
that's
know and
so
everything, and I met so many people at the school, and it was great to talk to the sisters, and I would love to go back sometime
That is
if
great.
possible in the future.
I never thought about, you know, meeting the people that are on the trip that you might not know all those people that
Mhm.
not your friends maybe to begin with, but they definitely are now, aren't they?
Oh yes, for sure. We did a lot of bonding and just a
a lot
lot
of
of
driving.
teamwork, you know.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of driving too. Yeah.
Driving. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, Esther and Danielle, for taking the time not only to share your mission experience, but to know most of all, sharing your energy, your enthusiasm for all that this trip meant to you. It just jumps out of your little box there on Zoom. So I'm sure our listeners today enjoyed listening to your stories, your experiences. But, you know, I think it also gave them a chance to see in just a little short time that mission trips are more than just about service and doing things. You know, it's about taking time to reflect on our lives, the blessings and gifts we have. And I think most of all, as you keep saying, building those relationships, which is one of the ways that we build Christ Church. So you and your team were surely the face and the hands of Jesus to the people at St. Peter's Indian Mission School in Babeshul, Arizona. So thank you again, Esther and Danielle, and may God bless you abundantly as you continue to build Christ Church today.
Thank you. God bless you.
Uh,